Close to the center of the Outlands is the sizable city known as Dendreus. It is slowly growing with its lattice-like city works to cover a massive body entombed within the spire. Wait, the spire with Sigil at the top? The spire that looks kind of like an obelisk? Hey everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent. The Outlands are a wild and interesting place. Although infinite like the rest of the planes of existence, it has a very mapped out section where everything seems to happen. This is the ring of gate towns, which are the towns that border a certain plane of existence. Each one has a way to get into an applicable plane, as it is adjacent to that plane, not physically, but philosophically. You could run past the gate town and keep going further out into the Outlands. You might travel for days and reach nothing new, but if you turn around and head back to the Spire, you'll reach that gate town in maybe 10 minutes. Something that I don't see in the 5e version of Planescape are the Rings of Power.
It began with the forging of the Great Rings.
Oh, no, not those Rings of Power. What I mean is a ley line of magical influence that radiates out from the spire at the center of the Outlands. Now, gate towns in the Outlands reside in the outermost ring, where magic works without issue. To travel towards the center of the Outlands, or Spireward as it is called, magic slowly ceases to function. Transitioning to a new ring restricts magic in some odd way, until you get all the way to the Spire, and magic and godlike abilities are annulled. In 5e Planescape, this was replaced by an anti-magic field that radiates from the Spire, but it's inconsistent, so there's only a small chance that your magic will stop working. Atop of the Spire is Sigil, which can be observed from the Outlands, but you can't reach it directly. You may only enter and exit Sigil via portals. Now, the shape of Sigil makes me think of a particle accelerator, or those machines that create magnetic torus fields. What if all the magic in the multiverse is funneled up through the Spire and weave around Sigil? Is the Spire and the Outlands just a conduit for funneling energy from other planes of existence through Sigil to provide magic to the multiverse? There are some interesting creatures called the Rilmani that exist close to the Spire, close to the center of the Outlands. Now, because of the magical problems of being so close to the center of the Outlands, most do not travel near the Spire, let alone reside there. Yet the Rilmani are powerful outsiders who make their home right next to the Spire in the Outlands. Now, in the 2e Planescape adventure Tales from the Infinite Staircase, the player characters make their way to a Rilmani city known as the Sum of All. But in 5e, this city appears to be renamed or replaced with a city called Dendreus. New to 5e, Dendreus is built over a large crack next to the Spire in the Outlands, or a fissure. Now that fissure and Dendreus isn't on the 2e map of the Outlands. And with a prophecy from the Planescape adventure, there might be a reason Sum of All was destroyed, and the new city Dendreus is being rebuilt over this giant fissure. The Rilmani are extremely neutral, which is why they enjoy being so close to the Spire. In 2nd edition, they have the ability to polymorph, and if caught in a confrontation, they would try to keep the balance. If fighting a chaotic enemy, they would polymorph into a lawful one to keep the balance. In 5e, these creatures have changed, and they appear more mechanical, although they still have the celestial creature type. In 2e, their appearance was human-looking oddball, and in 3rd edition, according to the Forgotten Realms wiki, they had a golem-looking appearance. But now they seem to resemble constructs, and they look like something out of Magic the Gathering instead of D&D, to me at least. Now, the Rilmani can't be summoned by a spell like a fiend, an elemental, or a celestial can. They have been known to pop into the prime material plane by following another creature who is summoned, kind of tailgating their way in. But this tailgating method is very rare, and in tandem with their secluded nature, most people in the multiverse don't even know the Rilmani exist. The city Sum of All and Dendreus could be one and the same. Nothing in 5e specifically states this, but both are written to exist close to the Spire. The Sum of All is written as a stretched out, sprawling city, but Dendreus is written as a vertical city over the fissure. Dendreus has a series of bridges that net over the fissure next to the Spire, almost like a suture trying to mend the crack. The Rolmani create metallic structures that seal damage done to the Spire, which are eventually absorbed and they become stone. It becomes part of the substance of the Spire. Spoilers for Turn of Fortune's Wheel. We're going to get into a little bit of spoilers, but I don't think it will ruin the entire story for you. Now, towards the end of the adventure, Turn of Fortune's Wheel, you'll enter Dendritus and actually enter the Spire itself. It turns out the Spire is hollow, and it contains mostly rust and iron fragments of eroded metallic blades. You can climb up through the Spire on various tunnels, and you'll end up meeting a frog deity who has lost all of their followers, and they don't even know what their own name is anymore. You'll also meet a powerful Yugoloth who resides here, who calls himself the Scholar. If you attack him and defeat him, you'll discover that he is holding the Book of Vile Darkness. If you don't attack him and instead agree to hear the Scholar's forbidden secret, you'll get a flood of impossible knowledge placed into your brain, which the player receives as one of 4 impossible knowledge outcomes on this table. The Spire is made of countless stacked versions of Sigil from past incarnations of the multiverse. Portals are alive. They're all part of the god Auskar, whose body forms the foundation for Dendritus, who is thought to be dead but is far from it. The Whispered One is coming, but there's still time to prevent him from claiming power over the spokes of the Great Wheel. The entire multiverse is inside an impossibly vast bag of holding. Auskar is the deceased deity of portals. Originally in Sigil, they were slain by the Lady of Pain, and Auskar's body was sent adrift in the astral sea. The other interesting forbidden secret is about the Whispered One, a common name for Vecna. Given that the Scholar has the Book of Vile Darkness and Vecna is building up to take part in the 2024 D&D cycle, this is big. Now, if you've seen my previous Vecna videos, you'll know that in 2nd edition, Vecna invaded Sigil in an attempt to ascend to godhood while in Sigil, where gods are forbidden to enter. Now, it's an adventure, so Vecna was thwarted and ejected out of Sigil, but we don't know where he went. It's said that a black hole opened up and just pulled Vecna out of Sigil and placed him somewhere. And since the Lady of Pain controls all portals to Sigil, she must have had something to do with it. Now, what if that black hole threw Vecna to the Outlands? Or more specifically, threw him just outside of the torus that holds Sigil? An almost ascended deity hurtling towards the base of the Outlands, crashing down and destroying the Rolmani city, sum of all. The Rolmani rebuilt their city. They're healing the Outlands with their structures and keeping the body of Vecna sealed away. Feels like a really badass thing to do. Now, anti-magic pockets from the Spire could hold Vecna's power at bay, preventing him from waking up. We don't know. Coincidentally, the Spire could be mistaken for an obelisk, or obelisks could be in reference to the Spire of the Outlands. Dendritus is notable not only for its size, but also because the slowly growing lattice-like city works to cover a massive body entombed within the Spire. The Rolmani who settle there know the massive corpse identity, but keep this knowledge secret, leaving outsiders to speculate whether the corpse is a dead god, a visitor from beyond the multiverse, or something else entirely. So what do you think of the Rolmani in the Outlands? Are they the secret wardens to Vecna's prison? Did the Yugoloth in the adventure find the Book of Vile Darkness on Vecna's body? Is it weird that the Book of Vile Darkness was also included in Keys from the Golden Vault? Yes, I'll just answer that one. Yes, it was. But let me know your fan theories below, and thank you for watching. Subscribe for more lore if you want D&D videos on the realms, Planescape, monsters, and more, and I'll see you all in the next video.